Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's session, Getting Started with the School Enterprise Challenge. My name is Katie, and I'm in charge of marketing and communications here at Teach a Man to Fish. Whilst we wait for more people to join us, please use this time to introduce yourselves in the chat by telling me your name, your country, and your school. Don't be shy, please introduce yourselves. Hi, Olwena from India. Thank you for joining me today. Hi, Amita.
I don't know that ICT today. Sorry, on the why?
Hi, Golda from India. Amita from India also. Susie and Hannah from England, thank you for joining me.
Somebody is supporting to the point that they are taking their own stuff.
Just a reminder, if you wouldn't mind muting yourself until we get to the discussion part of this presentation. Trisha from Trinidad and Tobago, welcome. It's nice to see so many people joining us from all over the world. Lovett from Cameroon, it's so nice to have you with us. So welcome everyone. Lots of people from India joining us today, that's great. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Now let's get started with the presentation. So today, this is an interactive onboarding workshop and it will be followed by a Q&A. And here is an overview of the questions I will be answering during this presentation. So first of all, what is the School Enterprise Challenge? Who can participate? How does it work? What is the role of the teacher? How many teachers and students per team? How much time per week? What can you do with your profits? And finally, what are the next steps? So without further ado, let's get started with the most important question. What actually is the School Enterprise Challenge? Now, I'm sure lots of you here are new and you haven't heard of the program before, and I'm sure there's also people that have already heard of the program and they want to find out more. But for those of you who haven't heard about the School Enterprise Challenge before, well, it's a free entrepreneurship program that supports young people to plan and launch their own school business that generates real income, which they can use to support their school, wider community, or use for a social cause. From idea to execution, it's youth-driven the whole way. During the course of the program, young people learn about business and develop essential life skills, such as communication, problem solving, and leadership to become self-sufficient and independent, all whilst having fun. Teachers join a global network, gain international certification, and can win prizes of up to $500 US. And schools achieve global recognition and can win a share of $20,000 US in prizes. So who can participate? Well, the School Enterprise Challenge is open to all schools from all countries, including pre-primary schools, primary schools, secondary schools, and technical and vocational colleges. However, universities are not eligible to take part. And it's really great to see a mix of countries, teachers from different countries joining us today. And it goes to show how global our reach is in the programme. Now we know what the School Enterprise Challenge is and who can participate, but how does it actually work? Well, the programme is made up of 14 individual lessons, which are broken up into 3 simple steps. The steps are step 1, business idea, step 2, business plan, and step 3, annual report or implementation. These lessons in the 14 lessons in the 3 steps provide a structure that enables students to explore various aspects. Sorry, I just want to remind you to mute yourselves until you have any questions or we come to the Q&A section of the presentation today. I'll just repeat that section. So the 14 lessons provide a structured framework that enables students to explore various aspects of entrepreneurship, which you will conduct as their teacher. So we give you everything you need, and you as a teacher, you act as a facilitator to enable your students to access these lessons. So as you can see on the screen, we have step 1, business idea. And this is the starting point of the School Enterprise Challenge, where students embark on a creative journey to develop their own business concept. This step lays the foundation for the entire programme and encourages students to think critically, collaborate, and unleash their entrepreneurial potential. There are 4 lessons in this step, which you can see on the screen now. So we have lesson 1, getting started. The first lesson, this is where you learn all about the programme. Lesson 2, resource assessment and brainstorming. Then lesson 3 is the feasibility study, and lesson 4 is finance your business. Step 2 is business plan, and this is a crucial stage of the School Enterprise Challenge, where students transition from ideation to the concrete development of their business plans. During this step, students actively engage with their community, interact with potential customers, and gather valuable insights by observing their competitors. There are 5 lessons in this step, which you can see on the screen now. So we have really important business concepts and ideas in this stage. So we have lesson 5, which is all about market research. Then we have lesson 6 is operational plan. Lesson 7, marketing and sales plan. Lesson 8, financial plan. And lesson 9, deciding how to spend your profits. So this is really what is at the heart of your business and really important, a great way for your students to learn about key concepts. Next up, we have step 3, implementation. This is the final and most exciting step of the School Enterprise Challenge, where students bring their business plans to life and immerse themselves in the actual operation of their enterprises. This hands-on phase allows students to experience the thrill of entrepreneurship as they run their businesses, sell their products or services to real customers, and generate tangible revenue. There are 5 lessons in this step, which you can see on the screen now. And this is all about business management and how you actually deal with the day-to-day operations of your business. So lesson 10, business management. Lesson 11, marketing your business. Lesson 12, accounting and record keeping. Lesson 13 is managing your team. And lesson 14, sustainability and development. So you've got some really important lessons in this step of the programme. Completing the accompanying document for each step is really easy. So within each lesson, you find questions and designated space to write your answers. These answers are automatically collated and organised into the required documents. So for step 1, it's business idea, as we've just seen. Step 2, business plan. And step 3 is called implementation, but the document that you submit is the annual report, and that is the final stage of the programme. This integrated approach allows you to focus on the lesson content while simultaneously building your documents. So access to the 14 lessons that we've just seen is via the School Enterprise Challenge online platform. And this is also where you can access all of the free educational resources, such as the mini guides, which explain each lesson, worksheets for students, and help videos for teachers. You conveniently have everything you need in one place. And remember, the judges will only see what is written in the documents that you submit, and this is how they decide who will win a prize. So it's really important to make sure that your answers are clear and understandable by a judge, and that's how you will win prizes. I spoke about the £20,000 dollars worth of prizes at the beginning of the presentation, and that is how you win the prizes, by submitting these documents. So now I've spoken about the importance of the School Enterprise Challenge online platform. This is where you conduct all of the lessons and submit all of the documents. I think that's really clear. But to make it even clearer, let's take a look at the platform together. The first thing that you need to do is go to the School Enterprise Challenge website. If you're new here, you'll need to register. If you have already registered, you'll need to click on the login button. You'll need to type in your email address and your password and then click login. We'll land on my school's dashboard in just a minute. And as you can see, my school is called Katie's Test School, and I have one team. I'm going to click on my team, and you'll be able to see the 3 steps that I just talked you through.
Really? Okay.
The Dreams poster is a really exciting part of Lesson 1. Now I'm going to go back a page, but if you had marked this lesson as... Hi, I'm really sorry. I think we lost audio there. Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
I'm so sorry about that. And if I play the
We
video
can hear you.
complete, you would be landing on the next page anyway. Can you hear the video when I play it? Yeah. Great. I'm sorry about that, everyone. Should I go back a few minutes just so that you can catch what you missed? Let's go to 2 minutes. I think that's where it cut off, and I'll play from there. Sorry about that. Lesson 1 mini guide and lesson 1 dreams poster. You can download these resources by clicking on these buttons. Then, if we scroll down to the bottom of the page, we will see exercises for students. And this is the most important part of the lesson. This is where you write your answers, which will go into step 1 business idea. The first question asks you to describe your school. As you can see, this question is required. To answer this question, simply click on the text box below and type your answer. You can then click on the Save button and move on to the next question. Question number 2 requires you to upload your dreams poster. Do you remember that we saw this file under the resources for this lesson section? The dreams poster is a really exciting part of lesson 1. It gets your students thinking about the future and how the School Enterprise Challenge can help them to achieve their dreams. You can either print out our template or draw your own. It is entirely up to you. Once you have done this and your students have filled them in, you can take a photo of them holding their dreams poster and upload it to question 2 by clicking on the box where it says, upload your dreams poster here. If you haven't done this activity yet, I strongly encourage you to do this as soon as possible with your students. Once you have done this, you'll have completed lesson 1, getting started, and you can click on the Mark as Complete button at the bottom of the page. If you do this without completing questions 1 and 2, a warning message will appear. You can see here that it says I have some answers missing because I didn't write anything in the boxes for 1 and 2. So I'm going to click OK. Now I'm going to go back a page, but if you had marked this lesson as complete, you would be landing on the next page anyway. So once you have completed all of the lessons in step 1 business idea, click on where it says submit step 1 business idea, which is like the 5th option in the list of lessons. So I'm going to click on this one where it says submit step 1 business idea. And here you'll be able to view all of the answers you have given in lessons 1 to 4. You can check your answers and then click on the submit button to send us your document. It's just loading, but as you can see in the background, we have the green submit button here. And here is all of your team's information, the name of the business, which you'll decide in lesson 3, the school, country, and status. So I would review all of my answers. In lesson 1, we did questions 1 and 2 together, and they would appear here if I had really uploaded the answers. So you can scroll through the page. There are 2 more questions in lesson 2. Then we have a few more in lesson 3, and there's 1 in lesson 4. So once you're happy with your answers, you need to click on the submit button down here, and that is how you send us your document. This is what we will see. So once you click on the submit button, that is your business idea done and dusted. It is completed. I'm not actually going to do it because I haven't provided my answers yet. You then need to repeat these steps for the rest of the lessons in step 2, business plan, and step 3, implementation. So I'm going back to my team 1. And you can see that I've got step 2 and step 3 here waiting for me after I have submitted my business idea. It says you have completed lessons 0 out of 5 and 0 out of 5. So once I start filling in the lessons from step 2, it will appear here as well. You'll notice that there is more than just the school dashboard on the left-hand menu. We have the school dashboard at the top because it is the most important section, and this is where you access all of your lessons. However, here you can access the badges, different business teams, resources, levels, prizes, help and support, our new community feature, and policies. And we recommend that you familiarise yourself with the platform before you start teaching the lessons. Hi everyone, I hope you enjoyed watching that video, the explanation of how to use the online platform. And I'm very sorry about the sound issue. I will be circulating this video in the communications after this meeting, so please do not worry if you missed anything. I hope it was helpful. And I can see that we have had some new people joining us, so welcome to this session. Let's see who we have joining us. We have Natalia from the Republic of Moldova, so welcome. We have someone from Nigeria joining us, from Zimbabwe. So welcome, you're not too late to join the meeting. Thank you so much for joining me today. So next of all, I would like to know where you are in the program. So we know that there are 3 steps, but I would like to know which stage of the program you are in, or if you have even started yet, and that's completely fine. You know, don't worry if you haven't even registered yet. This session is for new teachers, and we are very welcoming here, and we just want to know what stage of the journey you are in. So please write in the chat whether you have, I'm going to ask you 4 questions, and you can write in the chat which one applies to you. So the first one is, do you still need to register? The second one is, have you registered but not completed any lessons? The third one is, have you registered and started completing the lessons? And the final one is, have you already submitted the first document, which is step 1, business idea? So out of these 4 options, please let me know in the chat which stage you are in. You can write the number, or you can say, you can type out your answer, because it's really helpful for me to see what stages you are all in, so that I can tailor today's session even further to help you. So please take the time to let me know in the chat which stage of the program you are in, or you can type the number. I can see that some of you are already answering, and that's great. Bear with me. Okay, so we have someone is saying 2-step, second step, registered but not started lessons yet. Another person hasn't registered yet. Someone else is in step 2, someone else stage 2, step 1, haven't registered. Marie has registered and started completing the lessons. Anita is in stage 3, registered and started completing the lessons. Hi Anita. Anita is one of our School Enterprise Challenge ambassadors. So thank you so much for joining us today, Anita. Then another person has registered but yet to complete lessons. Okay, so another person hasn't registered. Okay, that's great to hear. Hi Paul, I can see that you've already completed step 1, business idea. Paul is another School Enterprise Challenge ambassador. Hi Paul. Thank you all so much for writing your answers in the chat. I can see that many of you haven't registered, and that is absolutely fine. And also many of you have registered but not started any lessons yet. So what I would suggest is when I share the video of how to use the online platform is that you log on, watch the video and find out what you need to do next. So if you haven't started lesson 1, then you need to start lesson 1 and complete the Dreams poster activity. Lots of people haven't registered yet. That's absolutely fine. It's not too late. I recommend that you register as soon as possible so that you can maximize your chances of winning the prizes and maximize your students' learning. So I will be sharing the link after at the end of this session, and you can register today. It takes 5 minutes. It's super simple. And as you can see, there are so many benefits from taking part in the program. So I can see there are some questions coming in at the moment, but I will get to that stage in about 10 minutes after we finish this presentation, and then we can dedicate it to your questions. So I'm going to carry on with the rest of the presentation now. Okay, so let's continue. And this question is, what is the role of the teacher? And if you're new here, you might not know what the dynamic is between the students and the teachers. Well, the School Enterprise Challenge puts young people at the centre of their own learning. So teachers act as facilitators of the programme, ensuring that learners have the time, resources and safe space to take part in the programme, whilst giving them the freedom to pursue and try out their own ideas. As a teacher, you do not need to have any prior business knowledge because everything is explained in the resources provided, and you will learn alongside your students. So you could be a business studies teacher, which is great, but you could also be a geography teacher, a history teacher, maths teacher. You could be a teacher of anything. It does not matter. We guide you through the process. You are coming on this journey with us, so you do not need to have any prior knowledge. And we also get asked about how many teachers and students per team. Well, the answer is you can have as many different teams at your school as you like, and there should be a different team for each business idea. So, for example, if you have a group of 10 students and they want to go into a vegetable farming business, and then you have another group of 8 students and they want to go into candle making, then these should be 2 separate business teams because they have 2 separate business ideas. And you can create as many teams as you like on the online platform. So that is really easy to do. It's very intuitive once you are on the platform, registered, and you're on your school dashboard. So it's up to you to decide how many teams you have and how many teachers manages the teams. So for example, you could have one teacher managing several different teams or several teachers managing individual teams. But we do recommend involving more teachers so that more young people can benefit. There is no limit on how many students you can involve in your school. If your school has 1,000 students, you can involve each and every one of them. Or if your school only has 40 students, you can involve all of them as well. When it comes to team size, we suggest having at least 15 students per team. That's kind of like the lower end that we would recommend because we want to encourage mutual learning, collaboration, and you need to have at least 15 people we suggest in your team, but you are welcome to involve as many as 45 or more. And the good news is that you can have different teams from different grades. That is not a problem. So I could have 12-year-olds in my team, but also 18-year-olds. If I'm a teacher at a secondary school, I can manage different teams from different ages and different grades. So that is absolutely fine. You might also be wondering, how much time per week should you dedicate to the School Enterprise Challenge? Now, this all depends on the individual size of the school and the circumstances. And unfortunately, there is no one size fits all. However, I can say that some teachers choose to work with their students on their school business as an extracurricular activity, others during lunchtime, some after school, or even at the weekends. So it is entirely up to you to decide what works for you and your school and your teachers. Ideally, like it would be little and often, so you would maybe do one lesson a week and you work on the lesson 1 hour per day. However, it's entirely up to you, whenever you can find time and integrate it into your lessons. And that comes on to my next point. It's really possible to incorporate the work that you're doing in the program into your lessons. So as you can see on the screen, there is a table of suggestions on how you might want to work on the program in a variety of subjects. For example, you can use your English lessons to create marketing posters, or your business studies lessons to analyze target markets and competitors. But it's up to you. If you think that there is a relevant topic relevant to one particular subject, then you can incorporate it into the lesson. It is entirely up to you. So we looked at lesson 1, which involves the dreams poster activity, which is question number 2 in lesson 1. And this is artistic. So you might think that this goes well with your art lessons or graphic design lessons, something like that. So you can weave these lessons into your lessons at school. And once your business is up and running off the ground, you'll hopefully be making some profits. And one of the questions we get asked a lot is, what can we do with our profits? Well, the simple answer is anything you like. Lesson 9, deciding how to spend your profits in step 2 business plan, gives you some inspiration and ideas. And your students may choose to reinvest the profits into the business or donate some to charity. However, at the end of the day, it is entirely up to you. If you feel like your school would benefit from some extra computers or maybe some books, you can absolutely take the profits and decide what to do with them yourself. We are not going to dictate what you do with your profits. You can use them to improve your community, your school, anything you like. And we are now coming to the end of the presentation section of this webinar, but I want you to be really clear about the next steps. So the first question you need to ask yourself is, have I registered? If you have registered, then that is great. It's the first step on your entrepreneurial journey. However, if you have not registered yet, don't worry, that's absolutely fine. You should talk to your school management and see which other teachers want to join you on this adventure. I said try and include as many different teachers as possible, because that, helps you and also helps the students. So once you have confirmation from your principal and other teachers at your school, you should then talk to your students and see who would like to become part of a business team. Your school can have as many teams as you like I said, as long as it's manageable. So in theory, you could have 1,000 students all in different business teams. So as long as you're happy with the numbers, then we're happy. The final step is to register for free on the School Enterprise Challenge website. You can see the link on the screen now. I will also post the link in the chat, so bear with me. And like I said, it's really easy to register. It takes 5 minutes. Okay, so I've just shared the link. So if you click on that, you can register for free. Right now, you can do it as soon as this session has finished, and then you will have access to your online platform, and you can make as many teams as you like. So I posted the link in the chat. So I encourage you to register as soon as possible as you can after this webinar. If you have already registered, and I know that some of you have, like we discussed earlier on, you should log into the School Enterprise Challenge platform and start familiarizing yourself with the content. Just like I showed you in the video, you should go through lesson 1, getting started, and read the questions. There are 2 questions in this lesson. The first one is really simple. It's just tell us something about your school, the environment, the number of students, or any important facts or information that we need to know. And then the second question is the dreams poster. So this brings me on to my next point. You should get your team together and complete the dreams poster activity. which is question number 2 in lesson 1. And students love this activity because it's fun, it gets them excited, thinking about the future and how the School Enterprise Challenge will help them to achieve their dreams. So you can either print this out and your students can write on it by hand, or you can create your own on a piece of paper. That's absolutely fine. We know that not everyone has access to a printer or printing services, so you can absolutely type your answers and upload it that way. But you need to upload it to lesson 1, question 2. And once you have completed lesson 1, you should continue with the other lessons in the steps, just like I showed you in the video. I hope that's all really clear. I've made this little diagram on the screen now, so you should ask yourself first, have you registered? And then you can go from there. And that brings us to the end of the presentation section of this webinar. Now is your chance to ask me any questions you have about the School Enterprise Challenge. I'm here to help and clear up any doubts you have. So I can see that we have some questions in the chat, but we already have, someone has their hand up, so let's go to them first. Okay. Hi, is that Lovett? You can unmute yourself and ask me a question.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much for the elaborate presentation. I'm grateful to be part of the session.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I learned about this this program, I think last year.
Okay.
When I was through an online search, because we are, I'm working with Jumps Academy Africa. It's a non-profit which has been helping young people do entrepreneurial projects in schools for the past 10 years. But what happened is when we do the projects, the students just do the project and then we don't implement it at the end of the day. So when I thought about this, I was like, it was great. I was like, wow, this is another thing that we can make leverage on. We have more than 10 schools and we have more than 20 groups that we work with.
Okay.
So I was thinking of my problem is how can I be able to adapt your program to us in such a way that, because we have a curriculum that we work with and the children are able to come out with business plan. They have a business model canvas and come out with it at the end of the day, and they defend it. But now you have the way you're structured yours. Yeah. How can we be able to adapt in such a way that we are able to go through your own lessons at the same time and complete that, and also partake in the competition?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much for your question. So you come from an organization, is that right?
Yeah.
You can register your organization on the online platform as if it was a school. Just where it says school name, you can put the name of your organization. And then for each school that you work with, you can have a separate team. So you said there are 10 different schools, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's fine. You can have 10 different teams, one per school, and then you can conduct the lessons that way. You can add the teachers from those schools so that they can create a login and access the lessons on the online platform, with your guidance, so they can do that by themselves. That is absolutely fine. And that way they have their own login, their own username, password, and they can access the lessons whenever they like. Does that answer your question? Were you asking if that's okay, or?
Yeah, then the other aspect is now, should we be able to, since we have the lesson about printing out your flyer, something like that, the first lesson?
Yes, the dreams poster.
Should we be able to, when we do come out, because we have something that we go through, it's 2 years, a 2 years program, we have to do entrepreneurship for the 2 years program. So should they also, after each of the stages, after doing what they have done in class, should they go into your platform and feel that?
Yes, yeah. So all of the resources are downloadable from the platform, and
Okay.
then upload it to the lesson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then that's fine. It's fine. Thank you.
You're
There
welcome.
was a timeline of the program.
Pardon?
Timeline. The timeline.
Yeah, of course. So we have a recommended or suggested timeline, but this is in no ways like bound. We're not bound to it. We can be flexible for different schools. We understand that there are different vacation times, holidays, etc. So the final deadline of the year is the 23rd of November 2023. So any documents that you submit before that date will be eligible for prizes, certificates, etc. So in theory, you could submit your business idea in 2 to 3 weeks, and then work on your business plan and submit that in November. Usually, as I've said, there are 3 steps, and if a school had registered in February this year, they would probably be on track to submit all 3 documents by November. But if you are just joining now, then it is absolutely fine to submit your business idea and your business plan, or just business idea if you feel like you won't have enough time to do both.
Thank you so much. That's been helpful.
You're welcome. Thank you for the question.
Hi, Katie.
Hi.
I'm Takozani Kibashe TK from Damarosa Pre-Vocational School in South Africa.
Okay.
It's a special school. So I tried to register a few days ago, and I got stuck because here in my country now we are closed, the schools are closed. So there was a question that I was needed to fill in, which asked me how many boys, how many girls in school. I couldn't answer that question. When I submit, my registration didn't go. So I was waiting for us to open the school because I tried to contact the principal. No one answered the question for me. So I'm waiting. We're opening on Monday.
Okay.
So then is it going to be late for me to register on Monday?
Absolutely not. I totally understand that you're opening on Monday, and that's not a problem. So you can register on Monday, that's fine, and put the numbers of the boys, girls that you have at your school. That is not a problem.
Oh, and the other question is, it is a special school. We're having a bit of a challenge for our learners. They are struggling to read and write. They're only good in practicals. As our school is a vocational school, we deal with practical work. So our projects are merely practical things. So I'll be helping them in terms of writing and you know, but I will involve the parents as well as, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, great. That is really great to hear. We have had several schools in the past participating with students with disabilities or some sort of incapacity, and we have been able to support them in the past. If you are interested, I could potentially put you in touch with a previous school that has participated like that, so that you can talk about ideas and strategies and share your challenges.
Okay, I would be glad for that.
Yeah, that can be arranged. I'll make sure to send you an email after this session, and we can put you in touch with a similar school so that you can support each other.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Do we have any other questions? Like people unmuting themselves? If not, I'll go into the chat.
I do have a question.
Yeah, of course.
But in the chat, I think there's a burning question of when the deadline of the registration is.
Okay.
That's one of my questions. But my core question is kind of similar to the previous speaker just before the one that spoke. My name is Lanre and I'm from Nigeria. And I work with, I run an organization that supports over 700 schools.
Okay.
And this is, we've worked on the School Enterprise Challenge before as a partner with Teach a Man to Fish, but we're trying to use the platform now as a network of schools that we support. So because we want to be in country able to support multiple number of schools to be able to do the challenge, it's more of how can we use the system to be able to coordinate all of our schools in a way that we still get visibility into all what they're doing, and we're able to coordinate all of their applications and their projects and all of that using the system, if that can help us achieve that.
Okay, yeah, thank you for your question. First of all, the deadline to register, there is no official deadline. Registration is open all year round. The only important deadline is the 23rd of November is the last deadline to submit a document. So anything submitted before that date will be eligible for prizes in 2024. So you could register in theory the day before, but you would have to take part in the 2024 edition of the programme. So yeah, I encourage you to submit documents before the 23rd of November. In terms of working with a large number of schools, we have many successful partnerships. For example, we work with the Bharti Foundation in India and CONALEP in Mexico. But this is more of an individual relationship that we put special attention and care into, because we deal with such a large number of schools. For example, in India, we work with 500 schools plus. So I'm not in charge of partnerships, but my colleague Alondra is, so we can definitely set up a meeting with you. You mentioned you work with 700 schools, is that correct?
Over 700 schools.
700, yeah. Well, we would love to get all of those schools on board. That would be, you know, a dream for us. So we would be happy to set up a meeting to discuss the details of what a partnership would look like between us. We don't have any partnerships in Nigeria currently, so that would be a really great opportunity for us and for your schools to take part in the programme. How does that sound?
It sounds great.
Okay, and we can talk about how you would use the platform to manage those schools, because I would need to talk to my team and see what we can do. I'm not in charge of partnerships on my own, so, but we can set up a meeting.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna go into the chat. I'm conscious that we have some questions in there. Let me just, okay. Lots of questions about deadline, registration.
Sorry, I was just trying to unmute myself there. I was just wondering, have you got any examples of schools that you've worked with, or schools that have worked and been running their own enterprise?
Yes, of course. So we have thousands of schools participating, and they all have unique business ideas. So off the top of my head, we have lots of agricultural ones, farming and vegetable farming, lots of creative ones such as candle making, jewelry making. We have others that offer services. So it can be either a product or a service. So a service could be a decorating business, events management business. I don't know if anyone attending this webinar would like to share what their school business is. If you have already registered and started spitballing ideas and brainstorming, would anyone like to provide Susie with some inspiration of what their school is working on? Maybe Anita.
Have you got any schools that you could sort of signpost us to, just to have a look at the things that they've been doing? Yeah, we've got a lot of inspirational ideas ourselves, but it'd just be lovely to see some of the examples actually in practice.
Yeah, of course. I can signpost you to some schools after the webinar. I can send you an email with some inspiration. We have inspiration on our website, but right now I'm not sure if we can show it, but I can definitely send you lots of inspiration in an email.
Wonderful, thank you.
You're welcome. Akintola, do you have a question? Oh, Olawale. Olawale, would you like to ask me a question? Does anyone else have any questions?
Yes, I do have a further question with regards to the deadline of the submission of documents.
Yeah.
So just to clarify, if you do not submit by 23rd November,
Yeah.
it means that whatever you eventually submit would be against 2024 prizes, right? Not 2023.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, but you can still continue.
Yeah, exactly. It's absolutely fine to submit after that date, but you have to be prepared that you would, if you win a prize, you would not get that until the following year.
Awesome. Thank you.
You know, we try and encourage people to participate all year round. We don't want to stop anyone from participating. So if you are starting this year, you can continue into next year. That is not a problem.
Yeah, that's because our school year, so we're wrapping up now and going into summer, because Nigeria uses the British calendar. So we just resume back in September, and between September and November might just be too steep, or maybe just one level will be done. So, but that's fine.
Yeah, of course, you can definitely do the business idea between September and November. I think that is definitely achievable. Do we have any other questions that anyone would like to say?
Hi, Kate. This is Alvina here.
Hi.
Yeah, I just had one question. Like my school last year, I had registered for the School Enterprise Challenge, and then we had submitted our entire plan by November, and then we even got qualified for the gold award level. So then this year we are planning to re-register. So then is it the registration will go as team 2, or should we re-register? Because this is a question that I had, because team 1 is still there on my portal. So when I log in on the School Enterprise portal, I can still see team 1. So then this new School Enterprise Challenge that we will be registering now should go as team 2, or should there be a new registration from a different teacher?
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. It should be team 2. Team 1 is what you completed last year. Is that right?
Yeah, correct.
You submitted the annual report.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
So that team is done and dusted, it's completed. We still know that your new team, which is team 2, is associated with your school. That is not a problem, but yes, you do need to create a new team in order to go through the program again this year.
Okay, so that would be team 2, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Monica Olawale.
Yeah, hello, Kate. I want to ask, like, I'm from St. Mark's School, Janakpuri, and we have participated in School Enterprise Challenge for the last, but in between there is a gap. There is a gap of 3 to 4 years, and we want to register again.
Okay.
So in that case, I have forgotten my registration now, username, password. So I need to register from the very beginning.
Yeah, so could you tell me when was the last time that you participated in the program?
I don't remember, but yes, we have won this gold award as well as silver award as both. It was 3 to 4 years back before the COVID.
Okay.
And then 2 years, I think might be 2018 or 19 maybe. Because before that, before I took over, there was one more teacher, Ruchika Paul. She was, she did it for 2 years. Then I did it for 2. Then there was a gap of another 1 or 2 years. Then I did it for 2 years. And then again, there's a gap of 3 to 4 years.
I see. Okay. So if you participated in the program before 2021, then that is a separate database. Your username, your email will not work because we had a different website and we have not carried over your details to our new website. We have a new platform. It's a lot better, much more user friendly. So if you participated before 2021, then you need to do your registration again, do it from scratch. There is no data still attached to your school from previous years.
Fine, thank you so much. So we need to re-register our school.
Yeah,
and I think that would be more convenient for us as well.
Yeah, that's correct. Okay, do we have any other questions? I see some in the chat. Simon, can we have some sample business videos of some schools who have participated in the program before? Yes, so I'm going to be sending some business idea examples to Susie, so I can also include you in that email, Simon. That is not a problem. You've provided me with your email address. Thank you so much. Okay, we have a question from Savita. Are there any levels like silver or bronze, as we have secured bronze level in 2017? So if you're new here, you might not know, but we have 3 award levels. We have bronze, silver, and gold. Now, previously in the program, so if you've taken part in the program before, you might have participated in the old style, where you chose your level at the beginning of the year. So you selected whether you wanted to take part in bronze, silver, or gold, and then you either achieved that level or you didn't. But this year and last year is slightly different. So you sign up to the program and you don't select a level. Your levels are based on the answers that you provide in the documents that you submit. So when you submit your business idea is not judged by the judges. So that is, you know, we understand that you're still learning at that stage, and you don't know everything about the program, so we don't judge you on that stage. Then we go to step 2, business plan. That is where the judges start judging your documents, and step 3 is annual report. So they would judge your answers, and if you've achieved a majority silver, then you would achieve the silver level, gold, bronze, etc. So you need to make sure that the answers you're typing in your lessons are really clear, concise, provide enough detail so that our judges can award you with the level that you think you deserve. So you should be working towards the level that you think you deserve, and I will share the award level, the guides, the examples of the questions that you answer, and how to achieve the correct award level that you would like to aim for. I'm just looking for questions in the chat. I'm conscious that we have 1 minute left, so I'll be really quick. Unable to access lesson 1, I will be sharing the video that I showed in this webinar, so you can follow that step by step, and that will show you how to access lesson 1. Are there any burning questions that anyone would like to ask in the last minute? I will be doing another webinar in a few weeks' time, so you'll see emails from me. So don't worry if you don't get your question answered today. I can answer it in a couple of weeks' time.
Excuse me.
Yes.
You seem to have escaped the question from Ayubu Kalufia. Could you go to that one?
Yes, of course. So how do some of us needing further consultation on their business ideas get in touch with you? So, you know, that's a really good question, and I'm sure many of you are thinking about that. Like I said, the business idea is not judged. So our judges don't see the business idea, it's just for you. It's when business plan is when it starts getting serious and we start marking your submissions. But if you would like some extra support or guidance, you can always send us a message on WhatsApp or an email, and we'll be happy to guide you. But you don't need to worry too much, because it is not judged by the judges, and that is not how you the answers you put in step 1 business idea don't count towards your final submission, and it doesn't mean that you get prizes or not. So you don't need to worry too much about the answers that you give in step 1.
No, ours is about guidance and not judgment. So we want to see that we have time. We are discussing what we are going to do already. We know where we are going. We know the unique type of the idea we have. So what is needed now is for us to know how to contact you. I mean, when you talk about, you say in WhatsApp, we should know which WhatsApp.
Yeah,
When you talk about an email, we should know the email address. I think that's correct.
Yeah, of course. You're absolutely right. I will share the link to our WhatsApp. I've just shared that in the chat. So if you click on that link, it will take you, you'll be able to send us a direct message. And then let me just get the email address. I'm aware that we're running over the hour, so if anyone needs to leave, then that's absolutely fine. I'm just getting the email address. Sorry, my internet is a bit slow today. Okay, so have the email address, posted that in the chat. So if you do have any questions or you would like further support on anything, please don't hesitate to send us an email to that email address and I will get back to you as soon as possible. We have a question, maximum how many students should be registered? I've said in the presentation, it should be at least 15 students and up to 45 or more. I think if you have more than 45, it might become slightly unmanageable. But if you think that you can manage it, for example, if you're working with teenagers or adults from a technical or vocational college, then it's really up to you to decide how many students to include. Do we have any other questions?
We appreciate the presentation.
Thank you. Thank you so much for attending today. Share this. So I guess that brings us to the end of the presentation today. Thank you so much for attending. I really appreciate it. And if you would like to provide some feedback, we have a feedback form and I'm going to share the link with you in a minute. So if you have any time today, please let me know if you have any comments so that I can improve these sessions for the future. And I will share that link with you right now in the chat. And I will be sharing the recording of this session and also the video that I shared as well, so you can get started. But if you haven't registered already, I strongly recommend that you do that now. It doesn't matter if you're not going to start straight away, but it's good to get the ball rolling and register so that you can, stay up to date with news and also join our mailing list, which is where I share updates in our weekly newsletter. So thank you everyone for joining me today. I hope you learned something and that you feel prepared to take on this adventure with your students. And like I said, there'll be another onboarding session in a few weeks' time if you feel like you didn't have all of your questions answered. Plus, you can also send us a WhatsApp or an email whenever you like. So thank you, everyone. I'm going to go now. I hope you all have lovely days and I'll speak to you again soon. Thank you. Bye.